The Tesla CyberTruck seems to be the future that everybody is wanting us to embrace. This new truck from Elon Musk's Tesla is taking the world by storm. Names such as Marquez Brownlee and Zach from Jerry Rig Everything are doing their best to promote this vehicle and share it with us and tell us maybe how it's going to be the next big thing. It is indeed a truck, absolutely, but this vehicle, is it really the future for people who actually use their trucks as trucks, or is it going to be a vehicle that does really well at hauling groceries and maybe a kayak or two down to the stream? Let's find out. I want to talk about this and share my experience with towing a 9,000-pound trailer and how that would relate to what's been published about the Cybertruck already. Let's do that right now. One thing's for sure, that this Cybertruck certainly looks like a stealth fighter from the 1990 Gulf War. What is that, the F-117? It's got angles, it's got slabs, it's got sides. It looks like it's got the radar cross-section of a little pigeon. But this truck, let's talk about it just a little bit, because I've got some concerns that I want to talk about today. Let's jump into the stats on the truck, and let's just look and see what it says. So let's jump into their home screen real quick. So this is the Cybertruck right here, and let's just talk about some of the basic things that they tell us about with this truck. There's a couple things that I had to look up on my own because I didn't find them on this website. But basically, the curb weight is 6,850 pounds. It states that it has a tow rating of 11,000 pounds in its maximum configuration, with a mileage range of 340 miles and a 0 to 60 of 2.6 seconds. This thing is fast, man. So I did mention 11,000 pounds in its max. They call that the Cyber Beast, or the all-wheel drive version of it. Those both get 11,000 pounds. If you get the rear-wheel drive version, which is available in 2025, you'll get 7,500 pounds of capacity to tow. The payload is advertised at 2,500 pounds. Marquez Brownlee in his video described that as the amount you can put in the bed. That's not exactly accurate. That's how much weight the whole truck can carry. So that's people and gear. It's still a lot of weight. A lot of 3/4 ton trucks don't have that kind of a payload, at least in the past. So if I did my math right, it puts the gross vehicle weight rating in the 9,000-ish pounds, 9,350 if I take 6,850 and add 2,500 to it. I know that there's probably going to be a few fudgings on those numbers on either side of that, so we're just going to call it a 9-ish thousand pound gross vehicle weight rating. It's not quite 3/4 ton range, but it's well above most half-ton pickups trucks. So it's not a 1,500 truck, and it's not quite a 2,500 truck either. It's something else, kind of in that Titan XD range, if you know what I'm talking about. They do offer an expansion pack, or will offer an expansion pack, to get you up to 470 miles of range if you get an upgraded battery pack, which goes in the bed of the truck. So like every upgrade for this truck takes up bed space, it seems like. Does not come with a spare tire, which is very important on a full-size truck that's doing truck things, because we beat up our tires. And having a spare tire is pretty important, but this one's not going to come with one. You can purchase one and mount it, you guessed it, in the bed of the truck. It's pretty fast, like we already talked about. It doesn't have any paint. It's stainless steel, so it's supposed to be pretty tough. There's pictures of, or a video of Joe Rogan shooting a Tesla with an arrow, and not really scratching it or anything. It's been peppered by all kinds of stuff. It seems pretty durable. It's going to be interesting to see what happens whenever someone tears down a trail with it, though. The bed stats are 6 feet by 4 feet, so it's okay. It's okay. It has a rolling, locking tonneau cover that blocks the rear view mirror. So if you have your tonneau cover up, you can't see out the rear view mirror. You have to rely on the infotainment center and a camera that is pointing out the back of the truck for your to look back. But whenever we're towing, we can't see that anyway, so we're going to give them a pass on that. It has, in-bed power stations, 110 volts and 220 volts. Should be able to run like a little flex core welder or something like that. Maybe more. I don't know. We'll see. But just remember, every time you use your battery, you're losing range. It does have a I thought this was funny, a hospital grade HEPA filter in the cabin. So whenever you're using your truck as a truck and you have your windows down and you're rolling through your farmland, or you're on out at your pasture, or you're just going to your hunting lease or something like that, you got your windows down and you got your head stuck out the window trying to navigate trails and things like that, don't worry, the air coming out of the filter, out of the vents, is filtered with a HEPA filter. I just thought that was kind of funny. It does have a pretty good warranty. The batteries in the drive units are warranted for 8 years or 150,000 miles. That's pretty incredible. Hopefully they'll honor those. Hopefully they don't have some exclusion for, if towing a trailer, your warranty is blah, blah, blah. So who knows? And it does have quad steering, which is totally cool. So I'm pretty happy about that. There was a quadra steer in the GM trucks and SUVs back in the mid 2000s. Was pretty popular. Well, maybe it wasn't too popular. It didn't sell too many of them, but it worked pretty good. It really improves your maneuverability, so it should be a pretty maneuverable out on the trail. We'll see about that. I do have a couple concerns, so I want to show you before I move on. The departure angle looks like it's going to be pretty good. I think the truck can lift up like 12 inches. With its suspension or something like that. I heard that. I couldn't actually find that listed anywhere. I might have just missed it on the website. So the front looks like it's good. The back, though, I don't know. I'm going to call this the hitch box. That actually kind of concerns me a little bit because that looks like it dragged pretty easy. But that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens. But that is pretty low down here. I think Zach from Jerry Rig Everything pointed that out as well. I'm calling it the hitch box because that's where the hitch is. And I'll show you a video here in just a minute to kind of show that. So I do have a couple concerns, and I just want to jump into that just for a few minutes. We'll jump over there and we'll look at that video that I mentioned here in just a few minutes. But I do have a few concerns about towing specifically. So we tow our 9,000 pound travel trailer with our 2.7 liter Silverado. We go for thousands of miles. It's nothing to knock out a 600 mile day while towing the trailer. That's a lot of miles. Now, I guesstimate because like my efficiency is cut in half whenever I'm towing a trailer. So I may get 21 mixed. If I'm towing a trailer, I'm going to get like 10 or 11 if I'm lucky. So I'm going to apply that same logic to this Tesla. I'm guessing that it's going to have a range of about 120 to 150 miles before it needs to be charged. Now, charging in and of itself is a concern. I don't know if you've seen any of the Tesla supercharger stations, but they don't really have pull-throughs for RVs. They don't have pull-throughs for RVs. You're going to have to probably like unhitch your truck and charge your truck and then rehitch your truck to the trailer. So you're going to have to drop the trailer, charge your truck, and then go again. So if you're going to try to knock out a 600 mile day, you're going to probably do that like 5 times. Hitching and unhitching is a pain to have to do just to refuel or to charge your truck. So I'm a little concerned about that. As most RV'ers knock out 300, 800 miles a day in their RVs, that's just going to be a real pain, a real hassle to do in the Tesla CyberTruck or CyberTruck. CyberTruck, yeah. So how's it going to work with a 30-foot plus fat travel trailer? It's going to be a pain. That's what it's going to be. And if we're using the batteries that hard, like discharging and supercharging them multiple times a day while we're towing, how long are the batteries going to last? I know they've got a very good warranty, but are they going to last being used that hard? I'm just not sure. So that remains to be seen. I am concerned about the receiver hitch. All right, and so let me show you guys this video, and this is why I'm kind of concerned. So this is a little video that I screen recorded from Tesla's YouTube channel, where they're pulling a 35,000 pound sled with the Tesla CyberTruck. It did a full pull, by the way, more than a full pull. So that was pretty incredible. But I slowed down this part and just recorded it at like 0.25 speed. And let me just kill that because that's really loud. Yeah, 2.25 speed. Look, I want you to watch the receiver as they're taking the slack out of this chain. So the receiver's down here in this receiver box. That sucker flexed. That's pretty good flex. And I'll explain a little bit more. And you can see it here whenever they start actually yanking on it. Did you notice that they like went cinematic while the load was actually being transferred to the truck? I wonder if that's because that receiver was flexing pretty good. I'm not 100% sure, but it sure did look like that to me. Let me back that up so you can see that one more time. And I know that there's some slop between the stinger and the receiver. That's just a natural part of it. But I'm thinking I see some flex in the receiver itself. It's not uncommon to see some receiver flex, but I don't think I would have expected to see receiver flex just pulling the slack out of that chain. So it does the full pull. Everything's fine. And let me talk a little bit more. Look at that. It's really working hard against that guy. So why am I concerned with the receiver hitch? As a travel trailer puller, we use weight distribution hitches to distribute the load across all four wheels. I use a 1,400 pound weight distribution hitch with my truck and my trailer. How is this receiver showing a little bit of flex like that? Just taking the slack out of the chain. How is it going to stand up under weight distribution circumstances? Is the receiver even rated for weight distribution? I have no idea. We'll have to wait until we can actually get our eyes on one to see if it actually carries a weight distribution rating. If it's rated for 11,000 pounds, it should be rated to at least have a 1,100 pound tongue weight rating. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm not 100% sure. The next thing that I am concerned about a little bit, it's not a big deal, I don't think, but I haven't seen anything about an integrated brake controller. I know most trucks that cost this kind of cost, and we'll talk cost here in just a minute, they include an integrated brake controller for electric trailer brakes. It's kind of interesting that an electric truck doesn't seem to have an integrated brake controller. I could be completely wrong on that, but it's just interesting. Hopefully it's pre-wired for one, so we can at least put a knee knocker under the dash if we need that. If anybody has any information about an integrated brake controller for the Tesla CyberTruck, please let me know. Put it down in the comments. I'd very much appreciate that. And then the last thing is really obvious. I'm going to jump back over into the screen. There is no provision for a fifth wheel or a gooseneck. So this truck is kind of in the 3/4 ton range. There's no provision for a gooseneck or a fifth wheel because of the design of the bed. It's got these sides that come up real high. You're not getting a fifth wheel hitch and you're not getting a gooseneck hitch in there. Not only that, but there's a trunk back here underneath the bed where you can put stuff. You're not getting a fifth wheel hitch or a gooseneck in there. May not be a big deal to a lot of people, but for a lot of people who buy a truck in this weight range, they're looking for something they can pull a fifth wheel or gooseneck trailer with. I don't see that with this truck. That's where it kind of fits in that Titan XD range. It's a little heavier than a half ton, but not quite as heavy as a 3/4 ton. But the difference is the Titan can actually pull a fifth wheel or a gooseneck because it has a standard bed. As far as everyday stuff, I'm a little concerned with like dropping gear, logs, rocks, those kind of things on the back of the truck. I know for my deer hunting buddies, whenever we go out to the woods, we're carrying tree stands and all kinds of stuff. You know, how easy is the bed going to be to wash out? How easy is it going to be to, clean stuff and things like that? So I'm just a little concerned about that, but not a deal breaker or anything like that. Just we're going to see how the stainless steel actually stands up whenever actual truck owners get their hands on it and that sort of thing. So that all remains to be seen. Let's look at the cost. So we'll just click on order now and we'll take a little peek at the cost. So if you're going to get a rear wheel drive model next year, you're going to be paying $49,890 as of today. It's going to be available in 2025. It does drop your range down to 250 miles, and you only get 7,500 pounds of 7,500 pounds of tow rating. It's still pretty fast, 0 to 60, but not as fast as the other models. If you get the all-wheel drive model, it's going to be 68,890. And if you get the Cyber Beast, it's going to be $96,390. Basically, you're killing $100,000. Look at the horsepower ratings, though, between the all-wheel drive and the Cyber Beast. The all-wheel drive has 600 horsepower, 77,435 pound-feet of torque. That's incredible. The Cyber Beast has 845 horsepower and 10,296 pound-feet of torque. Should not have any problem moving loads of the size that we're going to be typically towing. I'd like to see the numbers on this rear-wheel drive model by itself, but alas, we don't get that. All right, talking head. Okay, so that covers the cost, and as far as like ending this video, Cybertruck's in a weird place. Like, it's electric, it's not gas. You're going to have to be charging it all the time if you're going to be towing trailers. It's kind of in between a half-ton, three-quarter-ton truck. Doesn't have any of the benefits of a three-quarter-ton truck, though. Gooseneck trailers, fifth-wheel trailers are out. Looks like we might be able to tow some travel trailers, but as far as towing far, not really sure how that's going to work out. So a lot of stuff still remains to be seen. But as for me, I know that electric is coming. Like, it is definitely coming. But for now, I'm going to stick with my gas truck. I'm not going to be ordering a Cybertruck for the channel or anything like that. Maybe one day in the future, but right now, no Cybertruck for me. What does the future hold for this truck, though? I think that if I could speak to Tesla, what I would tell them is, if you want the Cybertruck to succeed with truck people, here's what you need. You need a version of the Cybertruck that we can put a gooseneck hitch or a fifth wheel hitch on to tow real trailers. As far as the integrated brake controller, make sure that we have that as an option. As far as the receiver hitch, make sure it's robust enough to handle 25% of 11,000 pounds, if that's what you're going to advertise. So we really need to see a receiver that can withstand 1,400 pounds plus of weight distribution. That's really what we need. And also extend this truck just a little bit and give us a standard bed, something that we can put an actual fifth wheel hitch or gooseneck hitch into. I know I said that a minute ago. Get rid of the gimmicks, get rid of the trunk, give us a spare tire back there, give us a little bit longer bed, and let us mount up fifth wheel hitches and gooseneck hitches, and let us use them as actual trucks. I think they may be onto something. This could indeed be the future. But your supercharging stations, you need to set some up with travel trailer pull-throughs or trailer pull-throughs, so people don't have to drop their trailers in a parking lot, drive across the parking lot, charge the truck, and then re-hitch up, because that is a giant pain for weight distribution hitch users. It's not so bad whenever you just drop it on the ball and pick it off, but weight distribution hitches, they're a little bit more complicated. And it's a little bit of an ordeal to do that, especially on a long tow day where you're going 60 plus, 600 plus miles while towing a trailer. Hopefully somebody will buy one of these, hook a trailer to it, and we'll get real ranges and that sort of thing out of it. But for now, it remains to be seen. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you made it all the way to the end, give me a little pirate flag emoji in the comments. I'd like to see that. I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know in the comments if you got any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for watching. Y'all take care.